In a hidden world called Hollow Earth, Kong is chased by a pack of war dogs. He leads them near the edge of a cliff and tricks them into falling into his trap before throwing down a large block of wood he set up, causing rocks to fall and crush many of them. He then tears another one in two, frightening the rest into running away in fear. After cleaning up, Kong tries to feast upon his kill, but he finds that he has an infected tooth, which makes it too painful to eat. He then hears a loud bellowing noise, believing it to be one of his kind, and goes to investigate, only to find it's just a frog making the noise. Kong is disappointed and feels very lonely. On the surface of the Earth, Dr. Eileen Andrews has been working with Monarch to ensure that Godzilla and Kong remain separate in their respective territories. Godzilla maintains dominance on the surface, while Kong resides beneath the ground and is believed to be the last of his kind, endlessly searching for his family, which he will never find. Godzilla defends humanity by fighting battles that humans cannot. In Rome, the monster Scylla is causing massive destruction in the city. Godzilla wakes up and steps in to fight the monster. He charges his atomic breath until the monster's body explodes into pieces, ultimately saving the city. At an outpost facility in Hollow Earth, the researchers begin to detect heavy energy readings coming from Kong's territory, causing a sinkhole in the ground. At the Hollow Earth access point, Director Hampton shows Eileen the graph she receives from the outpost, which displays alarming high-momentum spikes. Meanwhile at school, Eileen's adopted daughter Gia, who is the last member of the Iwi tribe, starts having visions connected to the Titans in class and unintentionally makes drawings. Later that night, Eileen realizes that the pattern in Gia's drawings is similar to the energy readings detected by Monarch. At the same time, the outpost facility detects the appearance of an unknown Titan, while Gia has another vision and becomes frightened. She is anxious about the scary things she saw and tells Eileen that she is worried about Kong. Eileen comforts her and decides to investigate. Eileen travels to Miami to find Bernie Hayes and shows him the drawings, asking for his help in figuring out the connection to Gia's visions. He agrees to help on the condition that he gets to go with her into Hollow Earth. Just then, Eileen receives a notification of Godzilla's movements. He is now woken up and is on the move. Afterward, Kong emerges from Hollow Earth, revealing his rotting tooth and seeking help. Eileen contacts her old friend Trapper, who administers sedatives and secures a rope around Kong's painful tooth. Then they use the plane's power to pull out the tooth and give Kong a metallic replacement, which relieves him from the pain. Bernie finds Eileen and tells her that he believes the signal they have detected might be someone from down there calling for help. Eileen immediately decides to assemble a team to investigate the source of the signal. The team includes Bernie, Trapper, Gia, and a pilot named Mikhail. They start following Kong flying into Hollow Earth. As they descend into the depths, the journey is filled with thrills and adventures. Finally, they reach the amazing world of Hollow Earth. On Earth, Godzilla leaves Rome and makes his way to a nuclear power plant in France, where he starts to absorb the radiation to charge himself up. Jets start swooping in to try and shoot him down, but Godzilla swats them like flies. The team in Hollow Earth arrives at the Monarch outpost, only to discover it destroyed and the researchers dead. They then stumble upon a huge bloody paw print on the stone walls, which doesn't belong to Kong, indicating they face another unknown danger. Meanwhile, Kong enters his cave and retrieves his battle axe before he finds a glowing crevice and jumps in, arriving in a subterranean realm where he encounters a smaller ape named Suko. Kong tries to approach him friendly, but Suko bites him and runs away. Kong chases Suko and finds himself surrounded by 3 other apes who attack him. Kong frees himself and fights back, using Suko as a weapon against them. He kills one of the apes while another one falls off the cliff. Kong grabs him and pulls him up, but the ape is not grateful and tries to stab Kong, so Kong kicks him down the cliff. The other ape flees in fear. Kong then has Suko guide him to the tribe's lair. At the same time, the team's ship is disrupted by signals, nearly causing it to crash. Gia says she senses strong signals coming from the ridge point, and the team decides to take a look. After landing, they proceed on foot in the forest, but Trapper and Bernie sense danger nearby. However, Mikhail, dismissing their concerns, attempts to take the lead, only to be eaten by a tree creature, terrifying the others who quickly run away for their lives. Gia then leads them to a hidden ruins of an ancient temple, dedicated to Mothra. She discovers a clue from a glowing bug and activates a mechanism which starts releasing water and leads them to a protective veil where the source of the signal originates. They tear open the veil and enter. Monarch continues to monitor Godzilla's movements and notices that he is headed towards the North Pole, where another Titan named Tiamat lives. They speculate that Godzilla is targeting Tiamat because her lair is situated in the path of highly charged solar winds, making it Earth's largest energy source. If Godzilla manages to kill Tiamat, he will become supercharged. As Kong follows Suko to find his species, the little ape tricks Kong into drinking from a river where another giant serpent titan resides. The serpent emerges and attacks Kong, who fights back fiercely, while Suko flees the scene. However, Kong throws his axe to stop Suko, revealing that he has already defeated the monster. Intimidated by Kong's strength, Suko has no choice but to continue leading him. When Kong eats the remains of the serpent, he shares some with Suko, who is greatly surprised and has his heart softened. Meanwhile, Godzilla has reached the territory of Tiamat. The Titan emerges from her slumber and engages Godzilla in battle. Despite Tiamat wrapping herself around him, Godzilla unleashes a powerful atomic radiation attack, tearing her into pieces. While Eileen and her team explore the unknown area, they find themselves surrounded by warriors of the Iwi tribe, who quickly recognize Jia as one of their own and bring them back to their tribe. The Iwi queen communicates telepathically with her people and instructs them to bring Jia forward. They touch hands, sharing visions and flashbacks of the Iwi tribe, as well as Jia's personal memories. Afterward, the group follows the tribe to a place where Eileen realizes that the beacon they received is the Iwi calling for help and woke Godzilla up. They are then guided further into the Iwi's temple to a room covered in Iwi script. Eileen begins translating, recounting a time when the Titans were the guardians of nature and the great apes were humanity's protectors. However, a ruthless ape known as the Scar King conquered the surface world, leading his army into a war against Godzilla. The war nearly destroyed Godzilla, but he managed to imprison the apes in a fiery realm within Hollow Earth. The Iwi believe that, at the end of the world, one of their own from Skull Island will return and awaken Mothra, defender of the Iwi and ancient ally of Godzilla. In the meantime, Kong follows Suko to where the other great apes are located, only to be shocked to find the apes forced into hard labor by Scar King. Kong sees one of Scar King's guards harassing an ape, so he intervenes to help him, causing the guard to try to get in his face, but Kong punches him and knocks him down. Scar King then shows up, laughing at Kong along with the other apes because of his metal tooth. Scar King tries to attack Suko, and an elder ape attempts to defend him. This leads Scar King to kick the elder ape into a pit of lava in retaliation, causing Suko to wail in agony. Kong becomes enraged, and Scar King starts to attack him with a whip made from another Titan's spine with a crystal at the end. But Kong stops it with his bare hand, injuring himself. A fierce fight ensues, and Scar King knocks Kong's axe away and tries to choke him with the whip. Kong breaks free and throws Scar King away. The evil ape then summons his secret weapon, an ancient titan named Shimo, controlled by Scar King using the crystal that causes her pain. Scar King commands Shimo to attack Kong with ice breath. Kong manages to dodge and deflect the attack with his axe, but the blast is powerful enough to envelop Kong's arm in ice and cause frostbite, weakening him. Suko points out an escape path for him, and as Scar King orders Shimo to finish Kong off, Kong starts to flee with some of Scar King's apes chasing him. He leads them into his traps, but the apes sees through his plan, leaving Kong helpless. Suddenly, rocks fall down and crush them, revealing that Suko set the trap to save Kong. On the surface, Godzilla wakes up fully charged, transforming into a new form with his dorsal plates glowing a bright pink color. As Bernie tries to document the Iwi tribe, suddenly a horn blares. The Iwi then open the veil into their world as Suko brings the injured Kong to them. Trapper examines his arm and finds him in bad shape, with nerve damage and significant tissue loss. They decide to give Kong an augmentation, applying an electronic hand to his arm to help him regain mobility and strength. Meanwhile, one of the apes runs back to inform Scar King about Kong. He is furious and leads the other apes towards their conquest, riding Shimo with them. Suko sees this and rushes to warn Kong, who starts to head out to the surface world to bring Godzilla, even though he knows that invading Godzilla's turf could lead to deadly consequences. Kong enters the surface world through a portal in Cairo, letting out a loud roar. Godzilla hears the roar in Gibraltar and responds with a roar before making his way over. Down below in Hollow Earth, the Iwi tribe undergo their ritual with Jia, ushering in the rebirth of Mothra, who makes her way to the surface. As Godzilla finds Kong, he starts to charge toward him despite Kong's attempts to convince him to join forces. They engage in an intense fight, causing destruction to the surrounding area. Kong uses his new glove to punch Godzilla several times, eventually stunning him. Kong then tries to drag Godzilla back to Hollow Earth, but Godzilla wakes up and attacks back, tackling Kong to the ground and stepping on him as he prepares to unleash his atomic radiation attack. At this critical moment, Mothra arrives to intervene in the fight, warning Godzilla about the incoming danger. They join forces as Godzilla and Kong roar in unity. At the same time, the Iwi tribe begins pouring liquid metal into the water to force the two electromagnetic pyramids together, creating an anti-gravity shockwave to temporarily prevent the evil titans from escaping through the portals. Just then, Shimo freezes the veil and breaks it down, allowing Scar King and his army to enter. Scar King orders Shimo to freeze the crystals to prevent them from connecting, but Trapper arrives with reinforcements to distract her. Godzilla and Kong then arrive just in time and begin charging into battle together, leaping toward Shimo and Scar King. Suddenly, a gravity surge occurs, causing the two apes and two lizards to engage in a mid-air battle, while Zuko and Mothra also join the fight against Scar King's apes. All of a sudden, gravity returns to normal, and the four Titans fall through the portal into the surface world. The Titans end up on a beach in Rio de Janeiro, causing everyone to flee in fear. Scar King then uses the crystal to command Shimo to unleash her ice powers and destroy the buildings. Kong interrupts and delivers a powerful blow to Scar King's face, causing his teeth to fall out, while Godzilla battles Shimo. The intense battle among all the monsters ravages the city. Godzilla charges up his atomic breath against Scar King, who dodges the blast and retaliates with his whip, but Godzilla manages to rip the crystal off the whip. As Kong and Scar King fight for the crystal, Zuko jumps through the portal with Kong's axe and swings it to shatter the crystal, freeing Shimo from Scar King's control. With his ultimate weapon gone, Kong holds Scar King in the air as Shimo turns on him and unleashes her ice attack, freezing him solid. Kong then shatters Scar King into a million pieces. Afterward, as everyone celebrates the victory, Mothra repairs the veil of the Iwi's home, and Godzilla returns to the Colosseum to resume his slumber. Kong, Zuko, and Shimo return to the Great Apes, where Kong stands before them and raises his axe with a mighty roar, becoming their new leader.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our channel for more videos.